The royal starship of the Varellan Empire flew silently through the black space. Inside it, Princess Zirea sat in her private chamber, watching stars through the window. She was calm, dressed in her soft blue robes, with silver vines wrapped around her long arms. Her people, the Varellans, were peaceful herbivores all. Slim beings with glowing skin and large, gentle eyes. Suddenly, alarms began to scream. "Princess, we are under attack," shouted one of the guards. Zirea stood quickly. "Who dares attack a royal ship? It's a pirate fleet, a known species. Shields are dropping." Before she could reach the control deck, the ship shook hard. Sparks flew. One wing exploded. The Varellan guards tried to keep her safe, but the ship broke apart in space. Her escape pod launched automatically, pulling her away as the royal ship vanished in flames. Zirea's pod crashed on a wild, green planet. Trees tore at the metal as it landed. The impact knocked her unconscious. When she woke, she was lying in the middle of a dark forest. Tall trees surrounded her. The air was heavy with unknown smells, wet dirt, strange flowers, and something sharp, something like blood. She sat up slowly, her head aching. Her long white hair was tangled, and her soft clothes were torn. Her personal guard was gone. The ship was gone. She was alone. "No, this cannot be," she whispered. Her data band blinked weakly. She checked the system. The planet was marked as Terra 9, an old name from the galactic map. A dangerous place. A human planet. Her heart raced. The Varellans had heard stories about humans. They were said to be carnivores, full of rage, wild instincts, and greed. Ancient history said they had eaten their own animals, fought endless wars, and even hunted alien life during the first contact ages. Varellan children were warned to avoid human space. Zirea trembled. "If I'm caught here, I'll be killed," she said to herself. For hours, she wandered the forest. She found a cave and hid inside, covering the entrance with leaves. She used her band to scan for rescue signals. Nothing came. Her people didn't know where she was. Days passed. She ate tree fruit and roots. Her royal training taught her survival skills, but not for this kind of planet. Wild animals moved in the shadows. Thunderstorms shook the sky. Her band was failing. Then, one evening, while she was collecting water, she heard voices. Human voices. Zirea froze and dropped to the ground. Her heart pounded. She peeked through the tall grass. A group of 6 humans walked through the forest. They wore rough clothing and carried strange tools. One of them had a weapon on his back. Another was eating dry meat. She gasped silently. Meat? They really were carnivores. Zirea backed away carefully, but a stick cracked under her foot. "Wait, did you hear that?" one of the humans said. They turned and spotted her. Zirea panicked. She turned and ran, but her foot hit a root. She fell hard, hitting her head on a rock. Darkness came again. When she opened her eyes, she was lying under a strange roof. The air smelled like smoke and herbs. She blinked, confused. She was wrapped in warm cloth, and her head was bandaged. "Easy," a calm voice said. She looked up and saw a man, a human. He had short black hair, tan skin, and tired eyes. He was sitting beside her, holding a cup. "I'm Captain Reyes. You're safe now." Zirea tried to speak, but her voice was weak. "You didn't eat me?" Reyes smiled gently. "No, we don't eat people." He offered her a drink. She hesitated but accepted it. It was warm and sweet. "This is a survival camp," Reyes said. "We're settlers, explorers. We found your escape pod. Thought you might need help." Zirea looked around. She was inside a wooden shelter. Other humans were nearby, sitting by a fire. A young girl played with a strange animal that looked like a dog. An older woman was cooking something over a stove. Meat again. Zirea's stomach twisted. Reyes noticed her discomfort. "You don't eat meat." She shook her head. "No problem. We've got dried fruits and root cakes. You'll be fine." He stood up and nodded to her. "Rest. You're safe here." That night, Zirea lay in silence, pretending to sleep. Her mind was full of questions. Why hadn't they killed her? Why had they saved her? She reached for her band and began recording. Personal log. Princess Zirea. I have crashed on Terra 9. Humans have found me. So far, they are not acting like monsters. But I do not trust them. I must learn more. I must survive." She looked out the window at the moonlit trees. The humans laughed quietly near the fire. She had feared them her whole life. Now they were her only hope. Zirea woke up with sunlight on her face. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she heard human voices outside the wooden shelter, and fear returned. She sat up slowly, her bandaged head still sore. Her long white hair was tied back neatly. Someone had taken care of her during the night. A folded blanket rested at her feet. A soft green shirt and pants human clothes had been placed nearby. She picked up the shirt and smelled it. It was clean, with a soft herbal scent. After a moment's hesitation, she put on the clothes. They were loose, but comfortable. Her Varellan robes were still there, folded and clean. As she stepped outside, the camp opened before her eyes. There were 3 wooden shelters, a fire pit, and a few machines made from mixed metal parts. A large tent had wires running into it. A satellite dish pointed at the sky. Humans moved around doing simple tasks, chopping wood, cleaning tools, and checking scanners. She expected shouting, harsh orders, or maybe chains, but no one even looked at her with anger. A young human girl saw her and waved. "Hi," Zirea blinked. "Hello." Captain Reyes walked over, smiling. "Good to see you standing. I hope you slept okay." "I did not expect kindness," Zirea said softly. "Well, kindness is free." Reyes said, "And we're not savages." He handed her a round, yellow fruit. "We scanned your DNA. You're a plant eater, right? This one's safe for you." Zirea took it carefully. "Thank you." He led her to a wooden bench under a sunshade. A small screen was built into the table. He touched it, and a map of the area appeared. "You landed about 12 kilometers from here," he explained. "We tracked your pod's signal. Lucky we got to you before the wilds did." Zirea looked around. "This planet is Terra 9. Yes, used to be a colony, but it's mostly forest now. Few settlements remain. Our group is here for research and resource scans." "Are you military?" she asked. Reyes laughed. "No, I used to be. Now I just keep people safe." Zirea sat quietly and watched the camp. She expected to see prisoners or wounded aliens. Instead, she saw laughter, teamwork, and care. A boy helped an older man fix a solar panel. 2 women checked medical supplies together. The little girl from before sat by a dog-like creature, brushing its fur. Zirea felt a strange feeling inside her chest. It was not fear, but confusion. These were humans, the same species told in Varellan horror tales. The same species she had learned to avoid, but they acted so normal, even kind. Later in the day, Reyes invited her into the main tent. Inside were computers, maps, and a small library of old books. "We like to contact your people," Reyes said. "If you tell us how, we'll help." Zirea hesitated. "You wish to make a deal?" "No deal," Reyes said. "You're our guest. We help because it's right." She looked into his eyes. There was no trick, no greed. Still, she was careful. "My band was damaged. I need time to repair it." He nodded. "Take what you need. You can use our tools." As the sun began to set, the camp prepared for dinner. Zirea sat by herself on a log, eating fruit and root slices. The humans roasted meat over a fire. The smell was strong, but no one forced her to join them. The little girl came and sat beside her. "I'm Mila," she said happily. "What's your name?" Zirea blinked. "Zirea. That's a pretty name." Mila said, "Are you a space princess?" Zirea smiled for the first time. "Yes, I am. Cool. I've never met a real princess before." Mila showed her a drawing she made. It showed a stick figure with big glowing eyes standing next to a smiling human. "That's you and me," she said proudly. Zirea looked at the drawing. Her eyes watered a little. "Thank you, Mila," she whispered. That night, Zirea walked with Reyes around the camp's edge. He showed her the defense system's simple alarms, tripwires, and small turrets powered by solar cells. "This planet still has dangers," he said. Strange creatures come out at night. Ziraya asked, have you heard other alien visitors? Before, Ray shook his head. We protect ourselves, but we don't hunt people. Varellans are taught that humans consume flesh, fight for power, and destroy weaker species. Ray sighed. Some of that used to be true, a long time ago. But people can change. He looked at her carefully. We've made mistakes, Princess, but we're not monsters. Back in her shelter, Ziraya recorded another message on her band. Personal log. The humans here do not match the stories. They laugh, they protect each other, and they share without force. I do not understand. I must learn more. I must know the truth. She looked at the drawing for Mila, now pinned to the wall. Ziraya still had fear in her heart, but now there was something else to dot hope. The morning sun rose slowly over the trees of Terranine. The camp was quiet, and the air was fresh. Birds chirped in the trees, and light wind moved through the leaves. Princess Ziraya stood near the water pump, washing her hands. Her wounds were healing, and her mind was calmer than before. But deep inside, she still carried fear that the kindness from the humans would suddenly change. She looked across the camp. Captain Reyes was repairing a broken scanner. Two other humans were lifting metal sheets nearby. Little Mila played with her dog-like creature, laughing softly. Ziraya walked back to her shelter. She needed to fix her band so she could contact her people. But before she could begin, Mila ran up to her. Princess Ziraya, the girl called. Ziraya turned. Yes, Mila, can you come play with me? Ziraya blinked. Play? Yeah, I made a game. It's called Star Friends. We pretend to fly spaceships and fight space monsters. Ziraya looked at the child's bright smile. For a moment, she didn't know what to say. I've never played such games. Mila giggled. Then I'll teach you. She took Ziraya's hand and led her to a small clear area. She had built a spaceship from sticks, leaves, and old boxes. She gave Ziraya a paper crown. You're the queen of the stars, she said. And I'm your pilot. Ziraya sat on the box slowly. Very well. Pilot, take us to the moon. I, Captain Queen, Mila shouted, pretending to press buttons. Ziraya smiled. It was a strange feeling, light and warm. She had never felt this way with anyone outside her people. Later, Ziraya sat with Captain Reyes again, this time inside the command tent. I'm still trying to reach my people, she said. But the signal isn't strong enough. We'll boost it, Reyes replied. You can use our tower. Ziraya hesitated. Why are you doing this, helping me? I mean, Reyes leaned back in his chair. Because if we were the ones who crashed, we'd hope someone out there would help us too. Ziraya looked at him closely. Even if that someone was from a species you feared, Reyes smiled slightly. Fear fades when you choose to listen instead of judge. That evening, a storm rolled in. Thunder roared. Rain poured from the sky. The humans moved quickly, securing the tents and shelters. Ziraya stayed in the main tent with Reyes, Mila, and two other crew members. The power flickered, and the wind howled outside. Mila sat close to Ziraya, wrapped in a blanket. Storms are loud, she whispered. They are, Ziraya agreed. But we are safe inside. Reyes placed a small lamp on the table. Let's tell stories, he said. It helps pass the time. He looked at Ziraya. Would you like to start? She thought for a moment, then nodded. In my world, she began softly. The stars are seen as spirits. Every new star in the sky is believed to be the soul of someone who showed great courage. We call them the Light Watchers, Milas. Eyes widened. That's beautiful. Ziraya smiled. It reminds us that no one truly disappears. They just become part of the sky. Then Ray shared an old Earth story, a tale about a man who crossed a frozen land to bring medicine to a sick village. The story was full of danger, cold winds, and strength. Ziraya listened with deep interest. Your people truly did hard things to survive. Reyes nodded. We had to. Sometimes that made us cold, but other times it made us strong. Ziraya sat back, thinking. Maybe our fear of humans came only from your past, not from who you are now. The storm lasted all night. The wind shook the shelter, but everyone was safe. In the morning, the camp was wet, but peaceful again. The humans worked together to clean the mess left by the storm. Ziraya helped. She picked up fallen branches, handed out tools, and even helped repair a broken tent rope. No one treated her like a stranger anymore. You're getting used to us. Reyes joked as he tightened a bolt. Perhaps, Ziraya said. But I still don't trust you completely. He nodded. That's fair. Trust takes time. That evening, Ziraya sat under a tree, writing in her personal log. Today, I saw a storm. Not just in the sky, but inside myself. I expected fear. But instead, I found laughter, warmth, and stories. These humans confuse me. They are not what I was taught. I do not know what to believe anymore. But I will continue to learn. She looked up at the sky. One day, her people would come for her. But when they did, what would she tell them? Would they believe her? Would they trust the species they feared? Ziraya did not know. But for now, she stayed, and she kept watching. The quiet calm of Terra 9 was shattered one evening by distant lights flickering through the forest. Ziraya stood beside Captain Reyes, her eyes sharp and alert. What is that? She asked. Her voice tight. Reyes frowned. Pirates, they don't belong here. They're searching for something. Ziraya's heart raced. She knew what they wanted her. As the princess of the Varellan Empire, she held secret codes that could unlock great power. The pirates wanted those codes for themselves. Will they hurt you? Reyes asked quietly. If they find me, they will kill me, or worse. Reyes' jaw tightened. Then we fight. The camp prepared quickly. Humans checked weapons, set traps, and moved supplies. Ziraya watched as the people she had come to trust transformed from peaceful settlers into warriors. Can I help? She asked. Reyes nodded. We can use your tech knowledge. Help us set alarms and traps. Ziraya smiled faintly. For the first time, she felt part of something bigger. Together, they worked through the night. Ziraya studied the camp's sensors, adjusting them to detect movement in the dense forest. She programmed small drones to fly silent patrols. Reyes showed her how the humans fought quick, clever, and brave. Their weapons were simple but effective. As dawn broke, the pirates arrived. Dark ships hovered over the trees. Figures moved through the forest like shadows, armed and dangerous. Ziraya's heart pounded. The humans did not wait. They fired warning shots and activated traps, nets, tripwires, and flash bombs. The pirates stumbled and fell. Ziraya joined the defense, using her knowledge of Varellan technology. She hacked a pirate scanner, confusing their sensors. The fight was fierce and loud. During the battle, Mila ran to Ziraya. Princess, be careful. She cried. Ziraya grabbed her hand. Stay close. Together, they ducked behind a fallen tree. Ziraya looked at the humans fighting fiercely to protect her. These were the same carnivores she had feared all her life. Now, they were risking everything to keep her safe. Tears welled in her eyes. The battle lasted hours. Slowly, the pirates were pushed back. The last of them retreated into the shadows. Disappearing into the forest, the camp was battered but alive. Reyes came to Ziraya, his face grim but proud. You fought well, he said. You are no longer just a guest. You are one of us. Ziraya nodded, feeling a new strength inside her. That night, as the camp healed and cleaned wounds, Ziraya sat alone by the fire. She thought of her people, waiting far away, ready to judge the humans harshly. She wondered how she would explain what she saw: the courage, the care, the unexpected kindness. For the first time, she believed the stories about humans were wrong. But she also knew danger was still near, and she would stand with her new friends no matter what. The forest was quiet after the battle. The early morning sun filtered softly through the leaves, casting gentle shadows on the ground. The humans and Princess Ziraya moved through the camp, checking supplies and repairing damage. But inside Ziraya, a storm of thoughts raged. She sat beside Captain Reyes near the fire pit. Her hands trembled slightly. I must make a choice, she said quietly. Reyes looked at her, waiting. My people will come soon, she continued. The Varellan fleet will arrive to find me. They expect me to return safely, but they will Not trust the humans. Reyes nodded slowly. What do you want to do? Zirea's eyes searched his face. I want to protect this camp. I want to protect you. Reyes smiled gently. Then you will stand with us. The day passed with a new sense of purpose. Zirea trained with the humans, learning how to use their weapons and tactics. Reyes showed her how to move silently, how to aim carefully, how to trust instincts. The princess, once afraid and unsure, now felt strong. Her heart beat faster as she put on a set of light armor, a simple jacket with metal plates. She felt heavy, but safe. I'm ready, she told Reyes. They stood side by side, watching the forest edges. The pirates could return at any moment. As night fell, the camp became quiet and tense. Suddenly, shadows appeared again. The pirates had returned, this time with more men and better weapons. The humans took their places quickly. Silent and alert, Zirea stood with them, her breath steady. The battle began with a sudden burst of fire. The pirates moved fast, trying to break the camp's defenses. Zirea's heart pounded as she aimed her weapon at a pirate charging toward the tents. She fired. The pirate fell. She felt a shock but kept fighting. The fight was fierce and lasted. Long into the night, Zirea and the humans moved as one, covering each other. Pushing forward, never giving up. Mila stayed close, helping carry supplies and encouraging the fighters. The pirates were strong, but the camp's defense was stronger. Slowly, the pirates retreated, disappearing into the dark forest. When the last pirate was gone, the camp was silent. Zirea looked around at the tired faces of her human friends. Tears came to her eyes. I was taught to fear humans, she said softly. But you showed me bravery and kindness. Reyes put a hand on her shoulder. We are not perfect, he said, but we fight for what we love. That is what makes us human. Zirea nodded. She knew this truth now. That night, Zirea sat with Mila outside the shelter. Will your people accept the humans? Mila asked. Zirea looked at the stars. I will try. I must. She hugged Mila tightly. The galaxy had changed, and so had she. 2 days passed after the last pirate attack. The forest was quiet again, and the camp was safe. Birds sang in the trees, and the wind was gentle. But inside the camp, everyone was waiting for what came next. Princess Zirea stood beside Captain Reyes on top of the small watchtower. Her repaired band blinked green on her wrist. A signal has been received, she said calmly. My people are coming. A Varellan rescue fleet will arrive in less than 1 hour. Reyes looked out into the sky. Do they know about us? Zirea hesitated. They know I'm alive, but not that I'm with humans. He nodded. Then we better prepare. The humans stood together near the center of the camp. Mila held Zirea's hand tightly. Will they try to take you away forever? The girl asked. Eyes wide, Zirea smiled softly. Maybe, but I won't let them hurt any of you. Above them, the sky shimmered. Bright silver ships appeared from the clouds, floating like birds of light. The Varellan royal fleet had arrived. Zirea stepped forward and pressed a button on her band. This is Princess Zirea of House Lunaris. I am safe and well. Do not attack. I repeat, do not attack. The humans here helped me survive. There was silence for a moment. Then a calm, high voice replied, Understood, Your Highness. We are lowering ships for your retrieval. A smooth, glowing shuttle landed at the edge of the camp. A group of Varellan officers stepped out, tall and graceful, wearing shining armor. The lead commander stepped toward her. Princess Zirea, he said with a bow. We feared you were lost. I was, she said, until the humans found me. The commander glanced at the camp, clearly uncomfortable. They did not harm you? No, she said firmly. They saved my life. Many times. He looked at Reyes and the others. We have long taught that humans are dangerous. Zirea took a deep breath. Then those teachings were wrong. She turned to face both groups, Varellans and humans. In the forest, I was weak and afraid. I expected death. But these people gave me food, shelter, and care. When pirates came, they fought beside me. Not for power, not for reward, but because it was the right thing to do. She held up Mila's drawing of the star friends. This child reminded me that truth is not always in old stories. Sometimes it is found in new friendships. The Varellan officers said nothing, but their eyes showed surprise. Reyes stepped forward. "We didn't help her because she's a princess," he said. "We helped because that's who we are." The Varellan commander looked at Zirea. "What do you wish to do now?" She looked at Reyes, at Mila, at the camp. Then back at the fleet. "I will return to the council," she said, "but not in silence. I will speak about what I saw here. I will tell the truth about humans." She turned to Reyes and gave him a small pendant from round her neck, a crystal shaped like a leaf. "This is the seal of trust," she said. "Only Varellan royals carry it. It means we believe in peace." Reyes took it carefully. "Thank you, Princess." "No," she said, smiling. "Thank you, Captain." As Zirea stepped into the shuttle, Mila ran to her. "Will I see you again?" Zirea knelt down and hugged her tightly. "I hope so. One day, when the stars are peaceful." The shuttle lifted into the sky, carrying the princess away. But the bond she left behind remained strong. Weeks later, in the Varellan capital, Zirea stood before the High Council. She wore a simple robe, not her royal crown. She spoke with calm strength. "The humans saved me," she said. "They showed kindness, bravery, and honor. We must see them not as enemies, but as equals." Many in the council were shocked. Some argued, some doubted, but others listened. And the world began to change. Back on Terra 9, the humans continued their work. The camp grew larger, stronger, and in the command tent, the pendant from Zirea hung on the wall, shining softly under the light. Captain Reyes looked at it and smiled. "Not monsters," he whispered, "just human."